Welcome back to Blue Thumb Adventures. I'm Ashley and I'm going to show you two ideas I have for OLLAs or in-bed self-watering systems. One I am currently using and like, and then I'm going to be testing out a new one with you guys today, and I think that that's what I'll be switching over to eventually, but I'll show you both ways so that you can see which one you would like better for your area or where you're going to put it. So I'm going to tell you the supplies I have. I don't know if you've heard of OLLAs, but essentially it's a ceramic or a terracotta pot. They're kind of rounded and have like a thin neck, and they have a top, and you bury it into your soil and you fill it up with water, put the lid on, and what happens is when terracotta is not treated, meaning there's no gloss or anything on it, it's porous. So when you put it into the soil and you fill it with water, the soil will draw water out of the terracotta pot as needed. So in the desert, like where I am, I don't want to go out there every day. And even if I do go out there every day, sometimes in the summertime, that's still not enough. So this is a great way to kind of help to make sure that my stuff is getting watered. And then also, if you just don't want to have to go out and water every day. So you can put these in maybe like bags, like grow bags, or I'm going to be using them in my raised beds. But you can get these in all different sizes. So even if you have a pot that you want to use and it's a big enough pot, you can get a smaller version of these and use one of the two options that I'm going to show you and see if it helps you. Okay, so I have 4 of these terracotta pots. You don't need 4. I just got 4 because I'm going to show you 2 ways, and I'm going to end up making 2 of the new options for the outside garden bed. So that's what I have. For one of the options, you'll need one of these. I think it's like the bottom tray that the pot goes on. This one is obviously too big, but I didn't want to buy another one because I'm going to be doing a different design, and this I already had. So for one option, you'll need 2 of these. And then for the other option, you'll need 1 of these and 1 of these. I'm gonna be using this Loctite clear ceramic transparent waterproof sealant. Just got this from Lowe's. I also got these from Lowe's. All right, so also paper towel. And then you can use anything for this next part. I'm just gonna use these because I have them laying around. A water bottle lid. It's big enough to cover this hole. So I'm gonna see if that'll work. Again, trying this for the first time with you for one of the options. And I need scissors. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back with the scissors. Sorry for the light you see here. I'm sitting in my living room. I'm actually sitting on the floor. Here's my couch. This is the coffee table, but I have a black towel over it. And there's a window right there, so a little bit of light's coming in. Anyways, so for the first option, I'm gonna show you the option that I currently have in the garden. And that is gonna require 1 of these pots and 1 of these, or anything similar as far for the top. For this, it does need to be terracotta, and it needs to be not sealed. So no clear coating or anything on it. Okay, so let's open this. I feel like I'm gonna get this all over myself, which sure I will. I'm gonna cut the top off. Ooh, that was a lot easier than I thought. So this tube I think was like $6, and it's gonna make multiple of these. These I think were like $3 and some change for the size that I got. I think these are 6-inch. Yes, these are 6-inch. The ones that I currently have out there are 8-inch. But this is the way that I'm gonna show you how to do it next is gonna hold twice as much water as just one. But first, let me show you the option I currently am working with. So what I'm gonna do is the circle in here, I'm just gonna squeeze, maybe. So I just squeezed some, see around there? And I'm gonna set this face down on it. And I'm just gonna press, and I'm gonna kind of use that, I'm gonna set it down on the towel. But I have that in there to kind of block the hole. Now I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit, and then I'll do another ring on the very bottom, but I'll let that dry for now. So we're gonna pretend like that hole is plugged now and dry. In real life, we'll put another, we'll fill the rest of the inside of the hole here with this stuff just to make sure that it doesn't leak out. But we're gonna pretend that it's dry right now. So that is it for this first one. You simply dig a hole in your garden bed or your pot. You're gonna put this in. I put it in right, you see the lip on here? I put it in right to there. I bury it to there in the dirt. That way I have a little bit of room for some mulch or whatever you put on the top. But I feel like that's a good end point for the dirt. So I bury that in wherever you're wanting it in your garden bed. So you're gonna bury that in, and then you're gonna fill it with water. And for this first option, I just take one of these, which I would probably use a smaller one, but you could totally use the bigger one. You're gonna fill it with water, because your hole is plugged now. You're gonna set this on top, and now your dirt is up to here. You still got a little bit of room if you want some mulch and whatnot. And then you have this. This is gonna stop the water from evaporating as quickly. But if you do this option, what I currently have in the bed is I have these little glass, let's see what they're called, glass gems from the Dollar Tree. So what I did when I first made the bed is I did this option, and then I put water in the top of this. So these kind of add some beauty, some color into the bed, some beauty into the garden. But I also did it because in the summertime and it's so hot, I also want to be able to provide some sort of water for the pollinators. So adding these little jewels or gems, it gives them somewhere to land on without falling into the water, because they're all different levels. And it also gives them a safe landing point, but it also doubles as a watering system for the pollinators. So when I go out and water the garden, when I refill these, I also just refill the top, and that provides water for the birds, the bees, all of the pollinators. This is option one for your in-bed self-watering system. Remember, dirt up to here. After you've plugged your hole, then you're gonna fill with water, cover, voila. You can add some water, some jewels, some pebbles, whatever you want to add in the top. You don't even have to add anything, but I just thought if I have this area, why not utilize it? So that's why I added these, to add some beauty to the garden, and then also it doubled as a watering station for pollinators. So this is option one. I'm gonna set that to the side. One of the glass things are broken. I have, this is where I get these from, the sparkling waters. Pour that in my cup of ice. And now I have another lid here to make the second option with you guys. Same thing. I'm gonna add this nice ring around the edge. Like so. I'm gonna set this on there. Again, I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm also gonna put more on here and then another layer around the edge. But for round two, this is what it's gonna look like. So, I'm actually gonna add my ring now around the bottom, because I'm not gonna be able to get back into it once I do this next step. So I'm just spreading that out. I will be able to add more on the bottom. Okay, so then for this next option, so in the first option you have this much of water that you can put in it. This other option, now you get 2 of these. I'm gonna take the sticker off because it'll drive me nuts on the top. And I will peel it off of the bottom of the other one as well. Okay, so for this next option, we're gonna leave this hole open. What we're gonna do is, we are going to make a ring. Just follow the ring around here. This stuff kind of smells like vinegar. Okay, so I did a thick ring around, and I'm gonna set this directly on top. Now, I'm gonna make sure it's lined up. You have a paper towel because if you're like me, you're gonna get it on yourself. But also, so that we can clean up around the edge. I hope that light isn't too distracting for you guys. I did a ring when I put them together, but I'm gonna do a ring like this around the edges as well. And smear. That way I'm really making sure the water can't seep out. This smells just like white vinegar. Oh, let's try that again. All right, guys. So now, the idea behind this, probably shouldn't be lifting it, but you see they're sealed together, sealed on the bottom, and I have this hole here. Now, I can bury this all the way up to here if I'd like. So with this, I have this much room for water. With this one, I've doubled it. So I have this much worth of water versus this much. And then I have the hole here that I can pour the water in with the hose. You can also take like a Dremel and make that hole bigger if you'd like. And then you could also even get like a plug or make some sort of plug that you plug the hole with. I'm actually gonna do neither of those options. I feel like the hole is fine just like that. I don't mind, you know, using a different setting on the hose to fill it. And then I don't feel like it's too big that I'm too worried about covering it. So I'm gonna bury this in my bed probably about 1 inch or so from the top. And now it's gonna water even deeper, and there's twice as much water to go out into the beds. So with our 2 options here, let me show you. The lid, actually set this over here. Okay, so these are our 2 options. These are the 2 options. This one, if you want to add, you know, you don't need as much water, or maybe You just use a bigger pot if you want more water, but you want beauty. You want this to sit on the top layer. You're gonna see this in your bed. You wanna have some water maybe for the pollinators, or you want to put some colored gems in here, or anything you wanna put in here to add some beauty to the garden. So there's this option, which is more of a prettier option, I guess you would say, something if you're wanting to add beauty, not just function to it. This one is not gonna have necessarily the pretty aspect like this, but this is gonna give you twice as much water. I also like that when I bury this, it only takes up this much space coming out of the top of my bed, so I can still put stuff around it, shallow root things around it, and it's not gonna take up as much of my bed. Whereas this one, the wider angle comes up to the top of the bed, which takes up more surface area around the top of the bed where you would be planting stuff. So I like both options. This is the one I currently have in my garden. This is a 6-inch option. I have the 8-inch option in my bed currently. I love it. It's worked great for me. But then I saw this as a potential option, and now this is what I think I want. Twice as much water, not such a big focal point in the bed because my plants are getting bigger. I do have something like this, the beauty top part of this, in my flower bed, but it's the top part of my DIY in-bed composting. So I have a pot in there, one of the plastic pots that I put holes in it and stuff for the worms to come out. I've done the different layers inside of it. Some mulch, some compost, some worms, some scraps, some cardboard, things like that. And then I have something like this that is covering the top of it to kind of keep the birds out, because the birds will pull through the mulch and get the dang worms. So I have something like this, and it's a bigger top that I have sitting on top to keep the birds from digging into it to get the worms. And then it has some beauty like this, and then also doubles as the watering station, like I said, for the pollinators. So since I have that in the flower bed, and that's more of a beauty spot, I'm gonna put these for more function in the veggie beds. So I just wanted to share with you the two options I have. Now, I'm gonna let this dry. I believe it says an hour, let me tell you here. It says tack-free time is 2 hours, 24 hours for cure time. So I will leave these overnight. I'll probably set them up on the counter. I'm actually not gonna make this one. I'm gonna use this one and make them 2 of these, and then I'll let them sit on the counter overnight, and then I will give you guys an update showing you how they are in my bed. I'll actually probably fill it with water before I put it in the bed, just to show you how you'll see the color change. Just like you see the darker ring around here where it's wet from the sealant, you'll see the pot start getting red like that, like a deeper terracotta color, and it's the water slowly coming out to the soil and whatnot that needs it. So I will kind of show you how that works. I'll let you see it change colors. And then I'll also put it in the bed, show you what it looks like in there. And I currently have one of these in there, so I'll show you the difference between the two. But these are the 2 options, the DIY options for the OLLA, or self-watering containers in your beds. So I hope you like this. I hope you learned something, and I definitely hope you guys use the idea. If you do, comment down below and let me know. If you have any maybe recommendations for something you think that would work better, or any tips, I am definitely open to that. I just wanted to share this idea with you because I like the help that it gives me. I like the idea of it, but the actual cost of the real ones is a bit out of my price range, especially for how many beds I have. So I wanted to come up with a different option, a cheaper option, and I don't know, maybe you guys could use it too. Let me know what you think of it down below, and you have yourself a wonderful day. Until next time, bye.